Hey, yeah, hey, it's the boat crew, and we always winning. Hey, go against us, I don't recommend it. Hey, it's the boat crew, best up in the business. It's the boat crew, repping for the city. Macking on and off the field like Khalil. They hate on us cause we keep it too real. I'm talking smack like Phil Rivers in the field. Oh, you mad again cause we kept it real? Why you mad? Hey, I'm talking smack, I feel like Uncle Dave. Hey, I bring the pain, I feel like Derwin James. I could run and gun, I feel like Herbert down the lane. I feel like LT the way I'm stiff arming these lanes. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah. Ay, we just wanna win, we just wanna win, ay. Putting on for the city, putting on for the city. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Bolt Crew podcast on a Monday. We're doing it on a Monday. Normally we tell you it's normally a Tuesday, Thursday, and then of course game day. I'm Dave Pele, Josh Pele, and Mario Heron. Again, we are your Charger podcast for the entire year as we go 52 weeks a year. Here's the deal. We're going today because Josh has to get on an airplane tomorrow. Doesn't matter. I gave you the wrong day for when the game was the other day. So what can I tell you there? Told everyone for a week it was on Saturday. The game was on Sunday. So look, if you showed up to the game on Saturday and you had tickets and they're like, hey, idiot, it's the Rams, not the Chargers playing today, I don't know what to tell you. My bad, okay? I'll be better next time. So either way, Chargers, they're now 2-0 in preseason. We're all super excited about that and getting fitted for championship rings and everything that you get for going undefeated in the preseason, which you don't. But overall, guys, I'll tell you, I'll give you an option. Do you want to start with the Chargers preseason game and your thoughts, or do you want to go with Rashawn Slater?
What happened to Rashawn Slater?
Oh, man, there's breaking news. I don't know if you heard. Yeah.
What happened? Dude,
He got remarried.
Yeah, he got. I'm not even gonna go there. Let me tell you something. As a Charger fan, you're used to getting kicked in the nuts. Like that's what we're 100% used to. But this was a different level, Mario. Like totally different level. Keenan Allen signs. We're on cloud 9. We do a show. Couldn't be happier. And then less than 24 hours later, or maybe 48 hours later, Rashawn Slater out for the year. And I can't tell you how disappointing it is for all of us when you find out that the guy that's protecting Justin Herbert's back, literally, is going to be out. I mean, this was the second worst injury this team could have sustained. Second worst. I don't want anybody to get hurt on the team, but I'd rather anybody but Justin Herbert, besides Justin Herbert, anybody else can get hurt. And I wouldn't feel as terrible today as I do right now, Mario.
It's terrifying. Our quarterback just lost his best O-lineman by far. We just extend him, so you're excited, like, oh, we're going to have the best two tackles in football for years and years and years. We're on second year of Jim Harbaugh. This team's obviously better than it was last year. We get Keenan Allen, and it's just like we should have known, Dave, because things were going too good. Things were going too nice. And I'm just saying, okay, fair point, but it was looking good. And then when things look a little too good, shout out Amos Gelb, one of my mentors, he would say, get ready for a punch in the nuts. And that's what happened.
You know what? I'm one of those guys. I don't know about you, but the longer you live, like you don't ever want to say out loud when something is going good. Like you never turn to someone and go, my life is going great right now. Because it is a major turn. For the Chargers, it seems like our, as you said, Josh, on cloud 9, our feeling of feeling good is so short compared to some other franchises. Now, there's some franchises that are worse than us. When we spoke about the Browns the other day, like the Browns, the sun never comes up in Cleveland, basically. I mean, it is bad all the time. And there are a bunch of other franchises and other sports where it's just terrible. It's a nightmare. And anyone that basically when your kid is born and you go, my kid's going to follow the same crappy team that I followed because I'm going to put this shame on him. When you know darn well, you can usually go with the team that continues to win on a regular basis, and odds are that kid's going to have a good life. But everyone right here, and I'm looking at my kid right here in the square. Dude, I did something terrible. I let him be a Charger fan. I mean, I completely could have lied to him and said, dude, you were born in Pittsburgh. I could have made something up. Dude, you got to be a Niners fan. You're born in San Francisco. I could have said anything. But I didn't. He's a Charger fan, loves this team, Southern California kid, the whole deal. But here's the deal. Were they going that good? Because the running back that we talked about, man, the dual threat, and what are you going to do? How are you going to stop Najee? And how are you going to stop Hampton? Yeah, we have a running back that blows his goddamn eye out on 4th of July. I mean, what the hell? Didn't see that coming. Now he's not going to see anything coming. Great. It's not even an option. I mean, this time he might not be able to go week 1 so that we could start with Najee Harris when things started going bad. Mike Williams retiring, dude, I took that as a blessing because I didn't have any faith in that guy anyway. Okay, the fact he retired before the season might have been the biggest favor he could have done to us, because what it did is it got us to go and get Keenan Allen. So I'll put that in the positive column. Rashawn Slater, that's extremely disappointing. Second most important person on this offense, all of a sudden he's gone. What's even more disappointing, they literally just wrote him a check that guaranteed $90 million. $90 million bucks. I mean, you know, the old limit law, there should be a limit law in the NFL. I'm sorry that Rashawn Slater got hurt, but look, he should be able to get paid, but the Chargers should get major cap space back on that. That sucks for any NFL franchise for that to happen, but it happened to us. And so you go, okay, Rashawn Slater, you got all this money, you're no good to us, and now you're reading all these medical reports that are saying Rashawn Slater might be lucky to be half the player that he once was. It's not like we're getting a Rashawn Slater's going to come back and be the guy he was. You're hearing people say, maybe move him to guard. Dude, I don't even know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how this is going to work out. All I know is they don't have him now. So you're moving Joe Wald over to the left side, and now the rest of the offensive line stinks. I mean, come on. Compared when you don't have the guys on the end, it makes everything else that much weaker. Am I wrong, Josh, on this? I mean, we hope Becton's great. Becton's a giant guy, the size of a building. But, I mean, is Becton living up to the career we thought he was going to have when he was drafted?
No, and Becton was drafted as a tackle. Becton has experience playing on both sides of the offensive line as a tackle. Do you move him to right tackle, Mario? Do you put Jamari Sawyer out there who's a little bit undersized? What do you do? I mean, Trey Pipkins is on the team. The last thing I want to see as a Charger fan is Trey Pipkins on the field. He's a guy that has proven time and time again that he cannot play at a starter level. I don't know what you do in this situation. There's so many moving parts right now. They signed David Sharp, which to me was kind of an odd signing because if you look at his history, he has no consistency to his record, right? He starts with one team, he goes to the Raiders, goes back to the Raiders. Can't stick with any team for more than one season at a time. I don't really understand that signing. I was hoping they would go with somebody like Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, a guy that's proven he can play tackle. It's a mess. And this completely changes the offense. And you might be thinking, you're overreacting. How does this completely change the offense? It completely changes the offense. You had the biggest advantage of any team of the NFL in terms of your tackles. You had two guys that are top 5 in their positions as your bookends. Now you have one guy who's moving to the other side of the line. He might be more comfortable on the left side, but that's great. Now Justin Herbert can see when he's going to get hit in the face because we have nobody protecting his right side. It's really disappointing. I don't even know what to say how you move forward from this and actually feel good about yourself. I'm not going to say the season's over, Mario. I know a lot of people on Twitter are saying, hey, just throw in the towel. I'm not going to say that. I think we have a great defense. We have a great quarterback. We're going to have an awesome rookie running back, but we have a huge hole on this right side of the line, and we already have 2 holes on the interior side of the offensive line.
Yeah, look, I mean, as of what the Chargers will do next, they announced that Pipkins will go to play left tackle, and then Alt will get moved to right tackle, play the position he played in college. Alt, that moving over, I don't think it's a problem at all. It's something he was all at Notre Dame. We were worried about him moving to the left side, him going to the right. He's fine. He's going to dominate. Pipkins, look, it's the position he's played the most in his career. Has he been exceptional at it? He's had dips, but he also has had highs. In 2023, I think that was his he had a 3-week stretch. That was his best work at the position. Can he do that again in 2025? We don't know, but we need him to do that. You mentioned it. If he does suffer at it, where it's going to be a lot of moving guys around, Slater might have to step up. And, 2 years ago, he was big for the Chargers when he came in when guys got hurt. Last year kind of left a little bit more to be desired, and, it's kind of stumbled since then. Look, Dave, I know it's a big ask from this group, but the reality situation is if you just give, Herbert just 3 seconds every time, if you just give him that 90% of the time, he's going to make a play. I think the scary part, or the part that worries me a little bit, is yes, the verbiage of hardball sounds like Najee Harris probably won't be ready for week 1. I'm starting to get that feeling now, just how he's talking. But can this O-line are they going to help our run game? Is this going to be pretty unfair for Hampton? Because right now, this whole run first thing might get cut up pretty quickly like it did second half of last year.
Okay, so if it's pass first, do you have more faith? I mean, here's the deal. I'm not yelling at you right now. My frustration level is through the roof right now. I can't tell you how angry I am. And I tell you why I'm upset. I'm reading some of your comments on the side. Look, I'm not talking about the money, by the way, about Slater when it talks about the money is insured. I'm not worried about Dean's pocketbook. Okay, I'm talking about the salary cap for what you can do is what I'm talking about. But look, my frustration level right now is with the Chargers front office, and I'm pointing the finger straight at Joe Ortiz. Dude, you have so much goddamn money in the bank. You could have gone out and spent some of that money. You could have sit there and you go map out potential problems and depth. There was no depth on the offensive line going in. Those were the two guys that you relied on, meaning Alt and Slater. And those were all you had. We had zero faith on the interior offensive line. Now we're asking our interior offensive lineman to go play a really important position. So my frustration level is right now with the front office. And I said when they hired Ortiz and Harbaugh, man, I'm in all the way until you give me reason not to be in. But right now it has come back to bite you because you weren't prepared. You weren't prepared for a situation where a key person goes down and you could afford to fix the holes. You have like $100 million of cap space. No team in the NFL is loaded like the Chargers are right now. And what's that money doing for you? It's insane. They got all this money here, but yet all the goods are gone. So you can't go out and get anybody else because other people, jumped at it and they fixed holes that they needed. And you talk about, hey, does it mess up the offense now for the Chargers? Yeah, it messes up everything. The running game, the passing game, maybe the future health of Justin Herbert. I'm not saying that season's over. I'm just saying you're putting yourself behind the eight ball before this season even begins. When you didn't have to. You could have paid to prepare for possible injuries because guess what? This is a physical game. It happens. There's a good chance someone else is going down, and they will. Just the way the NFL works out. We all understand. But, man, you lose Slater, and you have nothing really to sit there and defend yourself to say, man, we got a veteran here. I thought, give an example. What was Bud Dupree brought in for last year? Basically insurance, right? He was insurance as a pass rushing specialist. I don't understand why they did the same thing on offense when they had the money. My frustration level right now is and pointing finger. We don't need guys point fingers. I'm pointing all my fingers, all of them, at all you guys. Like the goddamn the old man in Star Wars, right now. Everybody super pissed on the way this thing is setting up. When he puts those fingers towards Darth Vader, Mario, look at him. I'm not a big Star Wars guy.
I gotcha. I was about to say, yeah. I had to remember.
The Lord Sith guy or Sith Lord or whatever, I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're in the ballpark.
All right.
Oh, are you done? I didn't know we were going to stop there.
I was getting dizzy. I don't know what to tell you. I said I'm irritated because it's funny. Obviously, I bring up baseball a lot this time of year. The Dodgers go and spend money to prepare for situations like this. We don't have to worry about it in the middle of the year at the trade deadline. The Padres, for example, say we're going to go out and spend every dime we have and our future for this chance to win right now. This is, to me, the Chargers didn't do either one, right? They didn't do either one as far as teams trying to win a championship. When you have an opportunity to win a championship with a star quarterback, you go all in. And they aren't doing it with Justin Herbert, and they're wasting years of his career.
You don't draft somebody as a tackle to take over Rashawn Slater's spot because he's going to be better than Rashawn Slater. You draft somebody in case Rashawn Slater or Joe Alt get hurt. It's not like this is Rashawn Slater's first season he's missed because of injury. He also missed almost an entire season a couple years ago. He's injury prone at this point. This is going to be a second season he misses due to injury. You draft Branson Taylor with the Tom Brady pick, 199 overall. You don't address your offensive line during free agency. It doesn't make any sense to me. I understand that hindsight is 2020, but you need an insurance policy in case something like this happens. I have zero faith in Trey Pipkins. I'm glad that he had a good 3-week stretch in 2023. It really doesn't mean a lot to me. Last year, he played 838 snaps, so he got a lot of time last season. He was ranked 126 out of 136 out of all guards with 6 sacks allowed. He has a really bad pass blocking grade, a really bad run blocking grade. He's ranked as one of the worst offensive linemen in the NFL that plays that much. I don't know what to say here. I really don't know what to say about Trey Pipkins. I don't think it's his fault. He's just not that good. You can't tell somebody that's not good, hey, we need you to be good now. It doesn't work that way.
But is he good enough to be a backup? Because that's kind of what you're asking him to be. And then this is a situation where he's now in.
No, I understand that you're asking him to be a backup, but if you already know that he can't play if you need him, then what's the point of having him as a backup? Like, what's his purpose on the team?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you just, I don't know. I mean, what can you do right now? Like, who can you bring in? Is a question.
it's not like we don't have any answers, obviously,
Yeah,
right? We're just yelling. We're yelling at each other like one of us knows what to do. Nobody knows what to do.
Dude, I've done what the two guys in the boxes are doing. I know what the guys in the comments are doing. You guys all went and looked at the list. We all did. Everybody went and looked at the list. It's like Mario when I coach baseball and we're struggling. I look down at the other end of the dugout. Like I expect to see Albert Pujols sitting there with the bat in his hand. I don't have him. That's what I'm doing with this list. It's like I can keep looking, but dude, the list doesn't change. There's no one else out there really that you go, all right, you won't believe it. You just can't believe who's available right now. There's Anthony Munoz in his prime. Can you believe it? It's not going to be like that. It's very frustrating where honestly they don't like to trade draft picks. Dude, you might want to find a team that you know doesn't have a chance to win and make a trade. You just have to do it. You might have to just sit there and bite the bullet and go, you know what? We're going to offer this for someone on a team that has zero chance. We went through the list a couple weeks ago. Name 4 teams that have zero chance of winning a Super Bowl this year. Did you start going through other guys' rosters and you got to make a move to get somebody?
But I feel like at this point, so early on, everyone thinks they're in it. You know what I mean? Like even the teams that are bottom of the barrel, like the New York Giants, who have the hardest schedule going in 2025, who can make it are in the hardest division in 2025. They're not gonna be able to play for anything. They don't. But right now, I guarantee you that there's people in that building that think, well, we can maybe go 500 and sneak our way into the playoffs and sneak into a wild card. Maybe that can happen. The rest of the NFC is not very strong. We could get lucky. Who knows? Maybe Jayden Daniels tears his ACL. Maybe Jalen Hurts gets hurt. Saquon gets hurt. You know, they just have a Niners type of hell type of season. They fall apart. Maybe that happens. That's the fear I think right now is every team thinks there's a shot. There's no GM. There's no head coach right now that thinks his job's already done. They're all thinking this is the year I either get extended, keep my job, or make a name for myself. That's the hardest part about right now is that every team thinks that they're in it to win it.
Yeah, I mean, they are and they aren't. I mean, I know you're trying to tell your fan base that, hey, we believe until we don't. I tell you, the New York Giants are an interesting team because it's hard to explain to Brian Dable why you're trading away offensive linemen away, right? When you have Jackson Dart and you have Russell Wilson and you have Neighbors and then you have a defensive line that some people are saying is the best in the NFL. How do you do that? I mean, your coach has zero chance of keeping his job if they start trading guys away. I got what the Giants are doing. But, man, I'll give an example. I watched the Titans preseason game the other day. Cam Ward, I don't know if I don't expect a great season from Cam Ward. I don't know who the Titans have. Cam Ward went right back to being a 9th grade high school quarterback in that game. If anybody watched the number 1 overall pick, he looked dead at his number 1 option and did not take his eyes off him every single time. But you got to protect Cam Ward because he's the franchise, right? You got to protect him. So you look at maybe some other teams out there and go, all right, who doesn't have a chance to win? The longer you hold on, obviously the value is going to go up. When they see the Chargers are desperate, they're going to sit there and ask for more. That's why I say you try and make that move now. My opinion. You try and make that move now instead of waiting for week 3, week 4.
I agree. I think when you have a team like this that's ready to win, I feel like this is a team that is ready to win. If Rashawn Slater is on the team right now, you feel like this team can make a run in the playoffs. At least I feel like this team can make a run in the playoffs. Do you want to talk about the preseason game, or do you guys have anything else on Rashawn Slater?
Nah, that's all I got on him. I just want to say first thing about – go ahead. You got something, Mario?
I'm just nervous about this run game. I mean, I know that protecting Herbert's going to be a problem, but that's just the thing that worries me a lot because that's all we've heard. You know, imagine Herbert with the run game. Well, is that going to be available? Is it? You know, like that. It's a worry, but we'll see. Hampton's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we got to see what they do. I mean, their guys make a lot of money to make decisions. It seems like I know they do a good job, you know, keeping the cards close to the vest. But, man, I'd be panicking right now if I was the offensive coordinator, if I was Jim Harbaugh, if I was Justin Herbert, of what are we going to do? You know, what are you going to do here? Because we all know what the answer is. Charger fans aren't dumb. Football fans aren't dumb when they follow their team. We know what that offensive line is. It's not all of a sudden these guys are going to be great. I will say this. First thing I'm going to say about this preseason game, Mario, how about Dan Fouts? So giving of compliments to Justin Herbert. Now, why was he so great to Justin Herbert when he talks about him, but he ripped Phillip Rivers his entire career? Because the Oregon guys? Was it an Oregon connection where you're an Oregon guy, I'm an Oregon guy? Someone say great things. It was so strange to listen to Dan not rip a Charger quarterback. you know.
Maybe it is
When
that Oregon connection. It's the new, I don't even know, new LSU one where it's like every time there's a corner that doesn't get burned, like DBU. It's like, okay, well, you know.
Look, I understand Dan Fouts, former Charger great, used to be an NFL broadcaster, these local broadcasts. Dude, Dan sounds like an old maid right now. He kind of lost the voice. It's kind of time to go. I'll make a deal with you guys. When I sound like that, you guys tell me to hang it up. You can just say straight out, dude, you're doing the Dan Fouts. You don't sound good. I'll leave right now. Okay. But Dan Fouts shouldn't be doing those games anymore.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I thought the game was pretty boring. There was a few things that happened in the game that we need to talk about. Caleb Murphy had an insane game. Eric Rodgers had 2 interceptions. Overall, though, I thought the game was actually very boring. One thing I would like to see in this next game, Mario, you tell me if you disagree with me, is I would like to see Trey Lance get the first reps, and then I would like to see Heineke get the second reps. What do they look like? To me, Trey Lance is playing against lesser competition. When he gets in the game, what can he do against better competition? I think this is a real battle for the second spot.
I'm in the same boat. A part of me feels like they just think, look, we know Trey Lance's preseason is like his Super Bowl. That this is his moment to go. So they're like, let's just give it to him in the second half where I know he can kind of go and dominate. And they go, Heineke, we're going to need him at one point in the season. Let's just not really him take a lot of damage, or let's just have him get in the routine of starting and then kind of get him out. I say give Lance just a full game and just kind of let it rip a little bit. He's exciting when he's out there. You're stuck watching the game. You know, it's more eventful if he's out there. But, Dave, I just really love what we've been seeing from this secondary. I mean, Eric Rodgers with the 2 picks. Come on. Like, there's just nothing better. It gives you excitement that room that was a big worry last year, and then we came not to worry as much. But it gives you a sense that, hey, that corner room, that secondary room is a little pretty deep. And with the injury luck we've had so far, that's something we're going to need going forward.
Look, preseason games are never exciting. It's always good to see your team back, like we said in the first preseason game against the Dolphins. I do like what I'm seeing from the defense as far as the guys being active and making plays and getting to find guys that you go, hey, maybe this guy's going to make the team. That excitement factor. Just pointing out what Josh said on the quarterback situation. Guys, I'd cut Heineke today. I mean, straight out. It's not like he's a young.
Really?
Okay, I'll give my example on why. Okay. One is he's 9 years in the league. He had one crazy playoff game when he was with Washington that people talk about. 9 years to shine. Okay. He's not that guy. He can go. I have zero faith in him when it comes to throwing the ball. He does more things with his legs. I'm fine with Trey Lance being the guy. I like what I see from Trey Lance now. I think the more reps you give to Trey Lance, who's much younger, I'd go Trey Lance. I'd go DJ Ukulele as a guy who's a non-dress roster guy. And that's the way I would play it out. But I would dump Heineke just to give more reps to Trey Lance.
I disagree with that. I'd keep Heineke.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with what I say. I'm just saying that's my opinion.
Heineke looked terrible. I understand that KLS had that drop. It looked like a very good pass from Heineke, but Trey Lance has looked better in these games. Trey Lance has used his legs like the way he should, I believe. And I understand that Trey Lance started the game against the Lions. I'm just saying I think Trey Lance should start in the same game that Taylor Heineke plays. Because I don't know. I don't think Trey Lance is going to be a guy that ever plays on the Chargers, but it would be nice to have a backup you believe in.
Not going to win.
Yeah, remember when Chase Daniel went in the game a couple years ago? And he was a deer in the headlights, and you're thinking, why the hell is this guy on the team?
Dude, right?
I don't want that situation.
How do you go from good backup to like the worst backup of all time?
Too many podcasts. He's doing too many podcasts.
I remember
the downfall of everybody.
I can't remember what game it was, but he came in for Trubisky too and like balled out. And then he had like 2 games in a row. People were like, it's time. And then it's like, oh, people finally got, like people finally got film on him. That next game, he just got rocked. And I remember watching that Chargers game. I was like, oh, this is the Chase Daniel from that. But I'm a Heineke guy. I want to keep
you are.
I don't. It's hard for me because even like Nick Foles when he was the career backup, Case Keenum even like this past weekend I had to cover the game and like Case Keenum didn't look phenomenal. Like Nick Foles never looked amazing in a preseason matchup, but he kept those guys on the roster because they knew football well. They have experience in the league, and they when in a moment when you need them, they typically show up.
Yeah, I'm just because Trey Lance is a guy that Here he is, on his third team now in the league? I mean, the guy was supposed to be a star. He should be starting for a franchise right now where he was picked when he overall. Look, he's a career backup. He's never going to be a starting quarterback in this league. But at the same time, being young and looking better than Heineke, I would just get Heineke out just for more reps. I'd get rid of one of those quarterbacks, and the other one is a rookie.
Yeah.
One's been there 9 years.
It's a great room of what ifs right there, though. Remember, like DJ had a moment, stepped in against Notre Dame, just rocked them. And you're like, oh, this guy. Then he kind of, Trey Lance spotted out. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna throw something out there, and this is a total overreaction, but tell me if you think I'm crazy. I'm a little bit concerned about Trey Harris's separation ability of getting open. It looks like he's just a guy. And I understand it's a preseason. It's only been 2 games. He's not playing the whole game. It might be an issue going forward that he's not a guy that's going to be able to get separation, get open. It could be a Josh Palmer situation, Mario.
I got a little worried on Ladd last year because I thought a size. And that proved later that I was completely wrong. And, F you to me. Kick rocks. Don't know anything. So I'm going to flag it. You know, an email, and you're like, I'm going to flag that email because I'm going to circle back. Flagging it. Flagging. Got to be really careful how I say that. Trey Harris's separation.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I wasn't going to say anything about Trey Harris this whole show because I knew I'd come off too negative, and then Josh brought it up. Man, I'm pretty negative. Since Josh brought it up, man, it's let's go ahead. Let's put our cards on the table. Dude, there's a reason to have concern. What the hell are we watching? What is going on? Like, as far as all the excitement, like you just want something so much that you just almost speak it into existence in your head. Then you look back at that and go, come on, in reality, we knew that wasn't going to happen. And then I'm thinking, Trey Harris this, Trey Harris that. Dude, I don't like what I see yet. I'm exactly concerned for the same reasons Josh brought this up. It's funny, Josh and I did not speak about this before the show either. But yeah, I'm a little concerned right now. Does he have a little Brendan Rice in him? What's going on?
Oh, low blow. I don't know. I mean, I think every receiver and tight end is going to be better when Justin Herbert's on the field. But if you're not getting any separation in these preseason games, it is a reason to be concerned.
Against backups.
Yeah, and then Dominic Rogers, I agree with this comment. He said, watch KLS bail them out of that Trey Harris pick. That could happen. KLS could be a guy that turns out to be better than what he was drafted as and maybe make you forget about Trey Harris's pick a little bit because it's the same draft. But you have to look at Trey Harris and say, hey, dude, you're drafted in the same position Ladd was last year. You have a great quarterback on your team. We need you to step up. Keenan Allen's fine. Keenan Allen is not a guy as a number 2 receiver you can rely on for 800 yards and 10 touchdowns. As much as we love Keenan Allen, he's injury prone. At any point, Keenan Allen can go down with an injury. He's done it before. We obviously hope he doesn't. But you need guys like Trey Harris and KLS to stand up and play as true-time starters, even though they're rookies. Joe Ortiz put these guys in this situation, okay? He believes in them. As fans, we believe in them. But you need to step up week 1 and play. We have nobody else.
I like how you put that. The Chargers, Joe put them in this situation. Like, they don't have time to develop. They just have to be ready. And if, they need to treat these preseason matchups as just figuring stuff out, or, they're obviously not going to be put – the plays that they're running now, the schemes they're running now are not going to be the ones you see come week 1 against the Chiefs in Brazil, right? Like, it's gonna look a lot different. So maybe that can also be it too, where what we're seeing and how they're played or the positions they're put in are going to be ways for them to be successful.
Look, all right. Okay, in my opinion, you can say that with certain plays like run plays. Dude, we're talking about receivers. The whole job's to get
but
open. Like I'm looking at vanilla versus vanilla here. It's not when you're thinking
disagree more.
Our vanilla is supposed to be a starter, or we're hoping he's going to be a starter. Their guy that our guy's going against is probably going to get cut. We got to see some kind of separation of a guy that we want to be a starter compared to a guy that is just there filling on a roster spot for 2 weeks before he goes back to coaching junior high football. What the hell? So yeah, there is reason to be concerned. It's not vanilla against vanilla, and Trey Harris is not a guy that the Chargers are going to cut.
Hey, ask Jim Harbaugh if he thinks it's vanilla versus vanilla. It's receivers. There's certain parts of the preseason that are not much different than the regular season. It's receivers trying to get open. You think Trey Harris is on the field, who hasn't proven anything in his pro career, is not trying to get open? Is that what you're saying? What are you talking about? Do you see Trey Harris on the goal line? Do you think he wasn't trying to get open on that play?
No, I think he was. Look, I'm
not yelling
saying,
at you, by the way.
No. I'm defending iProds. I don't freaking know. That's a crazy YouTube name. But thank you for listening. Subscribe to the show. We love you. No, I think there's just a notch that these guys will go above as soon as week 1 hits. That we will always see. And maybe you see glimpses. And I think the flip side of that as well is there's so many times where you see guys ball out in the preseason, and then you hit when it comes cut time. You're like, well, that guy didn't make the team. And you're like, like I remember Sterling Weatherford, who I grew up with. Like, he had 12 tackles one game. He's cut. He's on the roster. Kenny Pickett balled the hell out in the preseason, and everyone goes, well, the Steelers did it again. Now he's like tied for 4th string on the Cleveland Browns. Caleb looked freaking amazing last year, and people thought like, oh my God, the prophecy's fulfilled. The prophecy turns out is just a dude wipe that you just use to wipe and flush down the toilet.
Look, hold on real quick. I'm not giving up on Trey Harris in any way. I'm just saying, after 4 preseason games, as a fan, what do you want to see out of him? Do you not want to see anything? Is that your opinion as a fan? Hey, preseason means nothing to me as long as he's ready for week 1, of course, right? We want him to play well in week 1, but you want to see something, right? You would like to see a few catches, a few yards out of Trey Harris in preseason. Wouldn't we all want to see that? Jamar Caldwell looks pretty damn good. Are we not happy about that? I mean, we want to see these rookies do something.
It's true. Dave?
No, that's my whole point. Especially in the situation the Chargers are in certain positions. Some of these guys, when they drafted him, we were very excited because then there's an opportunity for that guy to step in week 1 and basically make an impact in this offense. And Trey Harris is one of those guys. And I'm not obviously throwing it in on Trey Harris, but dude, that was a frustrating game. And maybe it's because he's not with Justin Herbert. I don't know what to tell you. But as a receiver, man, you got to show something, man, that you can create, space. If you're a guy that you think you're a 1 and the Chargers think that he's possibly a 1 one day or early on in his career, he should be dominating the guys that aren't going to make the team. And there are guys and that Saints team's goddamn terrible. I don't care if they played all their starters. That's a horrible team.
I want to say a couple of things about the defense real quick. I love Jesse Minter's defense. If he finds a head coaching job after this, I feel like it's an open invitation for him to come back once Jim Harbaugh retires. His defense creates the most chaos of any Chargers defense I've seen in a long time. They've created 8 turnovers in 2 preseason games. I understand it's the preseason. They had 5 more sacks in this last game. Guys that you've never even heard of are balling out all over the place. It's amazing. How good did it make you feel that Brandon Staley was on the other sideline watching this defense actually play well? It made me very happy, Mario.
I like to imagine that he's sitting there and looking at like his coaches going, dude, this Jesse guy really knows what he's doing. I mean, we gotta see what this guy's cooking up over here. He's incredible. The jump that this defense made last year was great. This year, it looks like they're trending on that same path. He's everything we thought he'd be and more. Like, even at Michigan when he was with Harbaugh, those defenses were nasty. Like, that was the Michigan's calling cards. Their defense just swarmed you and just never gave you a breath. He is a head coaching candidate that will get a job in 2 years. It's if it's not this cycle, Dave, I truly believe it's that cycle, especially if this team sees a lot of success. A team's going to take a shot with them.
Yeah, you're right. When he's gone, we're going to miss him and go, now what are they going to do? I mean, that you're absolutely right. He's really good at his job, and maybe people are just casual NFL fans, don't realize how good he is, but he's that guy that will be that household name that, who's the hottest, next coach. It's only a matter of time before he's in that list. You got to, what? You got to go to deep in the playoffs or win a Super Bowl for him to get that opportunity, which I guess would be a good thing. If he's leaving for a head coaching job, that means the Chargers had a great year.
True.
All right, Mario, you got your quarterback tiers?
Yeah, so every year it's the Athletics started this, and then everyone kind of like taking it, but it's this time of year it always comes out, and it's like the official one, if you will. I know there's like 1,000 QB tiers that we've done, but this is supposed to be the big dog. And Justin Herbert, as I've seen in this list, he went down 2 spots, but he's still in that tier 2. And in those, one guy that moved up in the tiers, Lamar Jackson, moved up into tier 1, which is kind of fascinating. Also, Matthew Stafford, even though he's, hurt and we don't really know what's going on with him. Oh, we know what's going on, but we don't really know if he's going to play week 1. I don't know. That's really weird. He's in tier 1, which I thought was kind of nuts. But all that to buy myself some time. Tier 2, which is just this quarterback can carry his team sometimes, but not consistently. Can handle pure passing situations and doses and or possesses other dimensions that are special enough to evaluate him above tier 3. He has a hole or two in his game. Justin Herbert last year was, I believe, at 5. This year he's at 7. The QB that's ahead of him is second-year QB Jaden Daniels. And you might ask, why? What the hell's going on? The playoff run has to do a lot of it and what he showed last year. Now, when it comes to why Herbert was at this spot and not higher, these are the notes. He's probably, one voter said, he's probably like a Joe Burrow, good player, can make all the throws, can decipher and operate. If he had more around him and he kept maturing, maybe there's something more there. Another guy said they have like 18 running backs out there, and they're so dependent on one receiver, Ladd McConkey, that we felt good matching up against everyone else. That was from a defensive coordinator. Goes to more of what we've been saying, Dave, of insanely good QB. Hasn't gotten to the next level and still needs a lot of help. Needs more help around him.
I agree with everything that was just said, by the way. Like, if you switch teams right now, you made a trade, and you put Justin Herbert on the Bengals with those weapons, I think the Bengals would look very similar to the amount of points, to the success of the quarterback's numbers. I don't disagree with that at all. The weapons that Joe Burrow has, I mean, it's a dream to show up every single game, except dealing with the ownership that you have in Cincinnati. But otherwise, the weapons to throw to, it's crazy, night and day than what the Chargers have. It's frustrating, I'm sure, for Justin Herbert. We say it all the time. You wouldn't know because Justin Herbert never says anything about it. But if I was a defensive coordinator, I would plan exactly the way he just said. I mean, you're focusing on Ladd and saying, if Will Disley beats us, God dang it, he beats us. I mean, that's basically it. And people who are writing in the comments, there's no way Jaden Daniels is better. Dude, how can you even argue that? I mean, that's just because you're a fan. That's not even being fair. And it shouldn't be that way. But Jaden Daniels did make a serious run. He was one game away from going to the Super Bowl in year 1. You know, I hate to say it, but you got to win a goddamn playoff game before you get real respect. What are you giving any respect to a guy that can't win? Let's be honest. Justin Herbert has as many playoff wins as the three of us combined.
I think the person you should be mad at is Tom Telesco. When you hear about a list like this, he didn't do enough, right? He didn't put Justin Herbert around enough good players to win a playoff game. Joe Ortiz is trying to make up for that at this point. Jaden Daniels had a very good rookie season, but we saw CJ Stroud have a very good rookie season. Let's see what Jaden Daniels does in year 2. We feel comfortable about Justin Herbert every single season because he's an amazing quarterback. But if you can't surround any quarterback with true weapons, how good can they really be? Ladd McConkey's awesome. How much can you expect Ladd McConkey to do? Is he supposed to have one of those Cooper Cup seasons where he does everything and they win the Super Bowl? He's a great player, but you can't expect that out of him. I mean, for good God, I mean, at this point, you cannot expect Najee Harris to start the season. So you're going to have Justin Herbert out there with Ladd McConkey and Amari Hampton and no Rashawn Slater. You're basically asking Justin Herbert to be Superman every single year. And he tries to be. He's going to try to do it at week 1 against the Chiefs in Brazil. You feel bad for the guy. I think 7's a fair point to put him at this point in his career. But if he gets more weapons, he should be in the top 3. That's how good he is.
And look, I know you can say in this game that Jalen Hurts didn't play and Kenny Pickett got the start, but even before this whole playoff run that Jaden Daniels had, this was the numbers he put up against the best defense in the NFL last year. 24 for 39, 258 yards, 5 touchdown passes. I'll throw in the 2 picks. But then he had 9 carries for 81 yards. Then after that, he goes into playoffs. He faces Todd Bowles, one of the best defensive minds in the league. He goes 24 for 35, 268, and 2 touchdowns. Beats a very talented Bucs team. Goes then in Detroit with the number 1 offense in the NFL. And he just walks all over them. Throws for nearly 300 yards, only 1 yard away from doing that. Those for 2 touchdowns. carries them through in a very didn't just win. Like, they dominated the Lions. The Lions were playing catch up that whole game. And obviously, he goes in Philly, loses to Philly, but who is going to beat that team in reality? That team, beat the living snot out of Patrick Mahomes. After you do all of that, it's very hard to put him below anyone, especially a guy like Herbert, who, yes, you say Herbert's more talented. Yes, you can say Herbert obviously has a lot of years on him, but at the same time, Herbert hasn't beaten Mahomes in how long? Just the reality of the situation. He didn't beat Trevor Lawrence in the playoffs. You can say what you want about it. Throw the blame wherever, yada, yada, yada. I don't care. That's a reality. We got the draw of the century last year. And Dave, what did we say after that game? That was one of his worst games he's ever played. Yeah. And that's just the truth of the matter.
Yep.
By the way, still above CJ Stroud in this, too. After all
he should be. I think he should be, honestly.
I do, too. I'm with Josh on that. I'm with Josh. Yeah, it's again, these rankings take them for what it is. It changes a lot when you start winning postseason games. That's what it is, and that's what you're judged on. Some people like that, don't like that, but man, it's all about the trophy cases. That's what it's all about. You became a football fan to watch your team win championships. Every one of us. That's what it is. If you became a football fan just because there's one player and you stayed with that one team, what do you do when that player retires? Your team's always going to be there. You're rooting for the logo. You're rooting for the team, for the colors, everything else.
All right, let's get to the chat here. We're going to start with Allen, 199. He says, can the Saints fire Staley after one season? Yeah.
Of course.
Anybody can get fired in the NFL at any point. Jim Harbaugh can get fired, right? But he's not going to be. I believe if, the Saints suck, which they will, he absolutely can be fired. He probably will be.
Bad job.
That whole staff's getting the freaking boot and a half.
Hopefully, if you were Kellen Moore, would you have turned that job down? Like, I would have waited. I would have pulled Josh McDaniel back in the day and said, that's not the right fit. I'm not taking that job.
Oh, well, I don't even know why he took that job. You're with the best team in the NFL. Why would you go to the worst team? Why don't you wait for the right position like Ben Johnson? That's the move to me.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I'm with you as well. I would wait around for that, for whatever comes next. Especially because I know we did this classic game, like, of everyone's like, oh, wait for Arch. But like, Kellen could easily stay in Philly for 2 more years, rise the stock even more, and then go to the team that has the number 1 pick when Archie's coming out. Because guess what, guys? He's not coming out next year. In 2 years, when he comes out, and you go, all right, now I'm going to go take over this team with Arch Manning. Let's run.
That's a whole nother conversation, by the way, about Arch Manning. Like, I don't know if Arch Manning's what everyone says he's going to be. He's right now listed as the 5th best quarterback in the SEC.
That's the SEC, though. And he hasn't played like a real snap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier is a dog.
Yeah, but how could you really judge somebody that's never played?
That's what
True.
Yeah, I'm with you. He has the name.
All right, J-Cam.
See what he's earning? Christ.
J-Cam, 50 pesos. He says, how do you guys feel about our running back group the past 2 preseason games? How many should we keep and who bolt up? Do you want to weigh in on this, Mario, or do you want me to go?
You can go first.
I feel great about Amari and Hampton. Obviously, we haven't seen him do much in the preseason because they're trying to hold on for him because it makes no sense really to play him at this point. I don't feel good about Najee Harris. I don't know how anybody could feel good about Najee Harris at this point. I'd be shocked beyond words if he's available against the Chiefs in week 1. Vidal is somebody you have to keep on this team just because of the situation with Najee. He's going to be on the team anyway. You also want to keep 3 running backs. Haskins, I don't feel any way about. Patterson, I don't feel any way about. I want to see more out of Rocket Sanders. That's a guy that's very intriguing to me. And then Hines. He obviously fumbled twice, lost one of them in the game. You want to see what he can do for this team because, like I said, I don't believe in Hassan Haskins at any point. And Jarrett Patterson, to me, is just a guy.
Sanders, I'm interested. Like you said, I was actually really high on Hines. I thought that was a pretty good signing. I was like convincing myself that there's something there. But then the fumbles, I was like, I don't know if this guy's going to be in the room going forward. So still positive, healthy. This is a great running back room, Dave.
Yeah, when healthy. I mean, god dang, we're depending on Najee Harris and Hampton to be the guys. I don't know if you saw Najee's last purchase. He bought one of those Rolls Royces with the steering wheel on the right side so he can make turns. Dude, it's ridiculous. The guy right now doesn't have an eye that works. I mean, you saw that picture. Everybody saw that picture where his eyes are not open. How long does it take an eye to heal, guys? Oh, that's right. It's not like a broken bone. It's very frustrating right now. My frustration level with Harris being dumb enough to play with firecrackers on the 4th of July is amazing to me. I mean, we've seen these mistakes, and it is frustrating to go, yeah, it hurt the team. And Najee is, again, we've said before, is a guy that seems like he's done everything right in his life. For a guy that seems as bright as he is, to make this mistake is frustrating all the way around. For the Chargers, for him as a human being, and for that running back room. As far as Hines goes, Josh, I wouldn't trust that guy to carry the goddamn eggs in from Costco to my refrigerator. Forget it. You got to go. You fumble the ball, you create turnovers, you got to go. If you don't realize that's not important, dude, you're playing the wrong sport. See ya.
I think it's crazy that they just signed guys that have the last name that starts with H, right? Harris,
Yeah.
Hampton, Hines, Trey Harris. Like, it's like Herbert, Ortiz,
Dude.
the other Herbert. It's crazy.
Heron, let's go. I've been double up my creatine lately.
That's why you're on the show, Mario.
Yeah.
That's right there. Just because you have an H.
Christ almighty. I just weighed in yesterday, 192. Feeling
Let's go,
good.
dude.
Body index was like 20%. I think that's good. So let's ride a little bit. What do you think about that? Robert D7060. You ready, buddy? Because you're doing last name H, so you're not.
AK has something directed towards Dave 499. He says, Uncle Dave, I got a question. Uncle Dave, I got a question. Do you remember the Denver Broncos defense that won the Super Bowl for Peyton Manning? Well, this Chargers defense will be coming for that ass.
But they're coming to take out this team that won the Super Bowl 50. Those guys aren't in shape anymore. That was a long time ago.
Do you think this Chargers defense could be like that defense?
It's going to be as good?
Yeah.
Dude, I'd love for them to be as good, AK, because let's be honest, that Denver offense was terrible. Peyton Manning was a shadow of himself, and they still won the Super Bowl with that Denver defense. I was actually in San Francisco for Super Bowl 50. I'm telling you, that was one of the rare cases where they won in spite of, or despite their offense. So Manning was terrible. He had nothing left in that arm. And Von Miller just had a crazy game, and Cam Newton was too big of a puss to jump on a loose ball, and the Broncos won the Super Bowl. I remember.
They were winning against Brock Osweiler. People forget Manning got benched.
Still my favorite, I think, clip in NFL history is when Osweiler thought he was going in against the Raiders, and Manning just runs out on the field. It is fantastic.
Yeah, puts his hand on him. No chance.
Yeah. I think he went to go get his helmet and turned around, and Manning was already on the field. Was that it?
You're right. You're right. Yeah. That's great stuff. I miss that stuff. I miss Peyton Manning.
Brock Osweiler had like 3 teams, by the way, he was undefeated against. Like, he was like 6-0.
Yeah, well, dude, and he has crazy money. He's one of those guys that signed one of those crazy contracts, like Scott Mitchell, that thought, oh man, this guy's going to be a good NFL player. Wasn't the Texans that gave him a ton of money and he was a bust?
Yeah.
Someone gave him a ton of money.
I think it was Texans.
It did nothing.
Matt Flynn.
Yeah.
AK 499. He says, Josh said to me, AK, I love you, but no way Lane Johnson gets traded. You're crazy. But if we're talking about Roseman, best GM, a first and a third, we'll do it. AK, I've said it on Twitter, and I will say it again. The Eagles are not trading Lane Johnson. Why would the best team in the NFL trade the best right tackle in the NFL when they're primed to go back-to-back? Why would they take a step backwards when they're already ready to win right now? Doesn't make any sense, AK. Bad team would be more willing to trade a tackle, and that's even saying a lot because teams like to hold on to their tackles. A great team's not going to do it. I'm telling you, they're not going to trade Lane Johnson.
The smartest GM in football is not going to make that move. Like, why,
Dude, he couldn't even walk down the street. As much as he's loved, if he couldn't even walk out of his office if you traded Lane Johnson. Those Philly fans would kill him.
You ever seen a clip when they go, they chant out like, we forgive you? And he turns around after like the hurts and he goes, I give you a Super Bowl. He's like, yeah, I don't need your forgiveness.
Dude, okay. L Podicus Paranormal. Dude, your comments are terrible. I'm glad you're listening to the show.
What?
Dude, from what are you saying? He keeps saying things that are like, he said that Nyheim Hines, it's hard to catch a punt. Have you ever tried to catch a punt? He is a professional football player. His job is to catch the punt. I know it's hard. That's why I don't do it. That's why I'm talking on a podcast to you. If he's out there to catch the punt, you catch the punt.
It's literally what justifies his paycheck.
Yeah. What are we talking about here?
Also, like in practice, what do you think they like? Do you think they're just catching it on air? Like, no, they have people running at you. Like, if you're doing it in the NFL, it's probably not your first time.
Yeah. Yeah, all of it's hard. Like I'm not saying any of it's easy. It's just, yeah. He's also said, I didn't say it sucked. Just ask if you have ever done it. No, I'm not that fast. Yeah, I wish I could catch punts and run around. I wasn't ever chosen to. I don't know what to say here. I'm happy we did the show today, but you guys are grinding my gears. Somebody called me a female in the chat. Said me and Dave are acting like females. Said Mario's the only one that keeps it collected on the show. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, Chicago tough.
Yeah, it's called Lion's Mane. Mellows you out.
All right, you know what doesn't mellow you out? Dave rant. So what do you got?
All right. Let me tell you something. Two things. One is when you're telling me a story, if I ask you where something is, don't sit there and tell me, well, as the crow flies. Okay. I hate that saying. You ever hear that? Well, as the crow flies, which I found out because I'm like, look, I'm an old man and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell that means. It basically, the crow flies means going straight. So a crow doesn't fly and do the turns of a road. So if someone says, hey, where's that restaurant? Was the crow flies 2 miles from here, straight that way. You got it?
Welcome back to Who Gives a Shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But, dude, it's an expression that drives me a little nuts, okay, on the crow fly. My mom dropped it on me the other day. My mom says, hey, I'm selling my house. Where are you moving? Well, as the crow flies, I'm like, oh, Christ. I don't even know. All right. So here's the
I'm so confused. Deal. Yeah, okay.
Dude, all right, Mario, here's a funny thing, because you lived in the Midwest your whole life, is being in California, it is so easy in my head to figure things out by knowing if the ocean is west, I can figure out everything else because I know what's opposite of west is east, and I know there's north and there's south. I'm going to be good, okay? But if you stick me in Nashville or in Chicago, dude, I have no idea when people are telling me where to go direction-wise. I mean, thank goodness for my phone, but I'm completely lost. Like, I'd be the guy back in the days, people used to drive around with a compass literally on their dashboard, so you had an idea where the hell you were going. And a compass would just spin and let you know where the hell you're going, which direction. I can't figure anything out. So my mom's sitting there giving directions, north, south, east, or west, and Nashville. I have no idea what the hell we're talking about. All right, here we go. Here, my rant is this, though. Okay, I'm not an acronym person. So Mario, for example, the NFL is cool. Like, the guys in the league, if you played in the league, you don't even ever say NFL. You just say National Football League. Like, it just kind of sounds cool, you know? It's one of those things that they've said, no, you're going to say the whole thing. When you talk about the Shield, you're going to say it. But otherwise, there's so many goddamn acronyms and everything. So when people say FYI or ASAP or LOL, IDK, okay, Mario, you understand all of them right now? You know BRB?
Yeah.
If I send you a text and I say BRB, okay, what's BRB?
Be right back.
Be right back. IMO.
In my opinion.
In my opinion. DIY.
DIY. I thought it was just a DUI, and I was like, okay.
Is this Mario, or do I get to go in on
Yeah,
this?
go ahead. I'll throw them out at everybody.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself, okay? How about ILY? You ever done that one?
I love you.
Okay. What about YOLO and FOMO?
You only live once, fear of missing out.
Okay. I actually never knew what FOMO was until you read out.
Now, let's be honest. Anytime anyone gives you an acronym, you still got to play it in your head. The letters will go, what does that mean? It's just easier in conversation just to say it. Just say the entire goddamn phrase, whatever it is, okay? As soon as possible, okay? Man, I don't know. I got a fear of missing out. Whatever it is, the acronyms are insane. And if you ever run into someone that works jargon, Josh, you have a job away from broadcasting. Dude, you must have a million of them, right? My wife's business, a million of them. And to listen to people talk drives me crazy because in your head, you still got to play the game. It'd just be easier for you to say it. The acronyms are out of control. Everywhere you go, people with dropping the initials on you. I'm done with it. Or the text messaging and I trying to look it up for a while and I do like Mario just did with FOMO. I can't effing figure it out. Where's my chat GPT? You know, and I'm irritated by it. It's just a big goddamn waste of time. Stop coming off thinking you're so smart or you're saving all this time. Just tell me exactly what the F you want. Right now, I just want to strangle half you people out there. All right? I get really frustrated with it. too old, too impatient, and we don't have a right tackle right now because Alt is over on the left side, and I got major problems. You got it? Damn it to hell anyways.
A lot of problems.
A lot of problems. And the goddamn Padres are 2 games behind my Dodgers, and I don't like it.
We're coming. We're coming.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, you are. All righty.
Good God. Good God.
I meant to bring this up to you guys. I had an embarrassing moment this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't think this would be that big of a deal.
All right, you tell me. I got one for you, dude. You tell me your embarrassing moment. I'll tell you mine.
All right, so we are on the concrete beach in Chicago, and we had a friend visiting from Mindy, and they're like, we want to take him to this wing spot. That's like the best wing spot in Chicago. But the guy that was with us, he loves Hooters. And I was like, dude, there's a Hooters. Let's just hit the Hooters because I know the kid's going to like it. At this wing place, you have to share. Like I said, I'm not a big share guy. You know, we all get the individual. And on top of it, before I get to what embarrassed me, when we get to the wing spot, the front man ordering the food, he went rogue. He went rogue on us. He said we'd get 2 different flavors. Buddy up top just literally did 4. He just said 4 different flavors that we wanted. He just went up there and changed the play. And I was like sitting at the back end of the table, and I was like, what is this guy doing? And so I called the waitress over, and I got my own appetizer. So I was like, dude, if he's pulling audibles, I'm calling my own audible. Like, what's going on here? Besides the point, we're on the concrete beach. We got to get to this place, and it's like it would have been like an hour and a half walk. We didn't want to get an Uber. So I was like, maybe you could train it. Training it would be kind of difficult. And so, like, all right, we'll just ride bikes. I can't ride a bike. And
What?
so I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not riding a bike, and I don't know how to ride one. And that's a long.
Do you really not know how to ride a bike?
I don't
Do
know
you
how to
really
ride a
not know how to
bike.
ride-
When I was little,
Boy.
I tried to. I learned for a little bit, but I was really scared on it. And my brothers would run and they would tackle me off it. Or they would
Good
like
God.
throw something at me. And then one time they threw something at me. I went to dodge it and I hit a car. Like just took out the mirror, just murdered it. Put a nice crack in the window. And I was like freaking out, obviously, because you're a kid. And so I got back on the bike. And I was like trying to book it away as people were coming outside. Well, I couldn't go very fast. I was like, it's probably faster if I run it. So I chucked the bike and I just sprinted away. And then I haven't gotten back on since. And then I got made fun of for 40 minutes because I didn't know how to ride a bike.
Where are your parents, dude? Like, why would your parents allow this?
I don't know. I have a memory of my dad trying to teach me how to ride the bike, gave up, and screamed at my siblings, "It's up to you now." It's like he's like,
Oh
"It's
my
up
God.
to yeah, you guys gotta figure this out." I never did.
That's crazy.
Oh my, that is crazy. So you're embarrassed. Well, you should have like done that. Find someone with a tandem bike and rent a tandem bike. You could be the guy in the back.
No,
Just
I mean,
have to-
I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'll get the lift. So that's what we did. But it was, and also I just got defensive right away when people were like, "Oh, you don't ride a bike, don't ride a bike," and then I just went into, yeah, well, I just started telling like everyone's deepest, darkest secrets or like something that everyone's really insecure
guy.
about.
You're that guy?
Yeah, I felt like it was in the corner, so I started swinging, and then I had to apologize. Like, all right, that was probably shouldn't have said that. Sorry, Carter. Didn't mean to reveal something of your
Sorry.
past.
Dude, you're like the worst friend.
No, I'm
What
a
the
great
hell?
friend. I'm a fantastic friend. It's just, dude,
Oh,
if
really?
I get
Just because you can't ride a bike, you get to tell everyone Carter had a bad experience in Thailand that he doesn't want to talk about?
no,
What's wrong with you?
no, he did. No, it's just if I don't know. I just in those moments, if I feel like I'm about to get attacked, I get pre-ready. I'd be a terrible president. Like if I feel any type of threat, like goner.
He'll be a terrible president.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Phew, we're attacking first,
Oh my gosh. All right. Here you go. Here's my embarrassing moment. All right. So the other day, we did the show on Thursday, right? We did Thursday morning, I believe. Anyway,
Yep.
It doesn't matter. So I want to catch the Raider Seahawks game. So I try and find one of those like illegal streams on my phone. And I'm sitting there and have the phone down to the side and I'm looking back at the screen and I'm listening. And I'm like, these are the worst announcers of all time, Mario. Like I've never heard
Really?
worse announcers than this. And I'm like, is this Seattle or the Raiders announcers? Because these guys sound awful. Dude, I literally listened and watched for 25 minutes. Okay. Dude, it wasn't even the goddamn game. It was two teenagers playing on Madden, and they were doing play-by-play of their own game. And it was a video game. It wasn't even a real game. And I was like, I had no idea, dude. I thought I literally was watching a preseason NFL game and listening to the two worst announcers. It was just two goofballs in Wisconsin. I don't know where the hell those kids were from, but I thought I had the game. And it took me forever to realize what the hell was going on. Dude, like horrible.
Guys got no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, if the announcers were decent, or if there were no announcers, like just a feed with no announcers, I probably would have watched the whole thing. You know, I had no idea, dude. I'm watching a video game. Could not tell. I should have given it up when I realized Geno Smith was still on the Seahawks. I don't know what the hell is going on.
He's like, what did Malik Neighbors get traded to Seattle? What the hell's going on?
We have one more comment here. Sorry, we got one more chat. It comes from Iwei Jang. Hopefully I pronounced it right. 199 says, "Is it worth going after Parsons with Murphy stepping up? Honestly, I've changed my tune since the Rashawn Slater injury. I'd rather have a tackle at this point than make a trade for Micah Parsons." Do you guys feel the same way?
I'd like both, but what are you going to do? Get rid of your entire draft?
Yeah, I feel the same here. I think in the end, Jerry's going to get it. He's going to get the deal done.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
It's a fine mess.
They were good.
Fine mess. All right. By the way, Tony Jefferson continues to own the preseason. Another good game.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. We're back. We're aiming for Thursday. All right. We're doing this. We're aiming for Thursday. Josh will be back in Tennessee and 1 o'clock on normal time, Pacific time, and be ready to go, getting ready for it. Look, I'm going to go off the top of my head, but I believe the Chargers are taking on the Rams on Saturday this week. How's that? Did I nail it, Mario?
Stafford starting too. No, he's not. But
Stafford has to get back on that practice field. All right. Again, thanks for listening, taking time out to be with us today. Again, like, subscribe if you can. If you didn't catch the show live, again, leave your comments on YouTube. Josh and I will get to those. For Mario Heron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll see you Thursday, hopefully 1 o'clock Pacific time.